What is good? As you can see, we got the PC back. We got the 4K camera. Everything's back. Everything feels normal. Everything looks and sounds great. I'm happy about it. Listen, big win for the Sixers last night. And I've been having fun this morning because I was incredibly accurate with a take that I had last week. And I tell you guys all the pushback I get on certain things, and sometimes you don't believe me. And you're like, bro, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's saying that. I just want to give you an example. Last week, I posted a clip on Instagram that went a little bit viral. It's at like 320,000 views right now, okay? And I was projecting what the Sixers lineup should be in the playoffs. Should be. I was making a comparison what the Sixers lineup probably will be because of politics and what the Sixers lineup should be. All right? I got a lot of hate in the comments for this. And this lineup that I projected is exactly what Nick Nurse did at the end of the fourth quarter yesterday against the Miami Heat to win the game. Could not have been more on the money. But let's just go to some of the comments and have a laugh at all of the people that told me I don't know ball and I have no idea what I'm talking about before I ended up being 100% accurate. So here's what I said, if you missed it. Active lineup that could possibly be run on the Philadelphia 76ers team. You got Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre in the starting lineup in that perfect small forward slot. Nicholas Batum being the perfect Robin to Joel Embiid's Batman as far as the power forward and center position are concerned. Joel Embiid, of course. Cameron Payne, DeAnthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Ricky Council the fourth, and Paul. All right, I didn't play Ricky Council, but listen. Tobias Harris, China. This. He didn't play Ricky Council, but my point was this is the Sixers' best lineup right here. Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Nicholas Batum, Joel Embiid. It's obvious, and this needs to be the closing lineup moving forward. It's obvious. Within 15 seconds, Tobias Harris misses layup. Tobias Harris offensive rebound. Tobias Harris misses tip shot. Tobias Harris offensive rebound. Tobias Harris misses 2-foot tip shot. Tobias Harris offensive rebound. Tobias Harris misses tip shot. Tobias Harris offensive rebound. The guy was playing horse by himself under the rim. Anyway, let's read some of those really fun comments from a week ago. Than y'all give him credit for. He over Nicholas. Tobias Harris never shows up in big games. That's like saying Jeffrey Dahmer's a nice guy. He just needs to stop chopping people up. I hear you, but 17 points a game is hard to replace. No, it's not. Best player. You must not watch Sixers games because ain't no way you think Tobias Harris is our third best player. We would like him if he was a great player. You see how these two things go hand in hand, bro? We don't dislike him and he's a great player. That doesn't make any sense. He's a great player whether we like him or not. He's possibly 20 per night, hardly. 6'9", great defender, not a great defender. Great rebounder, not a great rebounder at all. Best lineup possible is Embiid, Harris, Oubre, Maxey, Lowry. 100% wrong. Finish the games. Oh, that's weird. What happened last night? Awkward. Probably second, third best defensive player on the team. And when he's a player on the team and when he's having a good game, he's a factor on both sides of the court. Sure, when he's having a good game, which is rare in 5 years. So the 3 games that he has all season, he's a factor on both sides of the court. Except maybe Buddy, but they can't have that small of a lineup. Tobias can back up the 3-4. Nah, get him out of here. Y'all just making shit up at this point. Was 100% accurate. Talking about. So I lost credibility in the credibility department of Love My Grub 47 on Instagram, but I predicted exactly what Nick Nurse championship winning head coach would do. Who matters more, Love My Grub 47 on Instagram or championship winning head coach? You tripping. Playoff Toby is a thing. No, it's not. Does it? Because 5 days later, 100% accurate games. Tobias Harris is better than Batum. No, he's not. It's like 20 so far that are just exposing themselves on the internet. At 1, Tobias and Kelly starting. That's a horrible starting lineup. Knock it off. Drewski 4XL. Who's dumb now? And shout out to the hundreds of people that completely agree with what I said, which is why it has over 10,000 likes. It always blows my mind that you can look at something that has 300,000 views and 10,000 likes and be like, this person is so wrong, they're an idiot. It just does. Briefly, I just want to say this because I said last night, the Knicks are going to do exactly what the Miami Heat did last night. And that's not totally accurate. Although if the Knicks watched that game and saw how effective it was against Joel Embiid, it might be accurate. But I'm not as worried. A lot of people are looking at what the Sixers looked like and saying, "Oh my God, we're screwed." No, you played the Miami Heat zone defense. You escaped the Miami Heat zone defense. The Miami Heat, right here, as you can see, have the 3rd best defensive rating in the NBA. The New York Knicks have the 2nd best defensive rating in the NBA. So the series is going to be tough and physical like I know it will be, like I've been saying it will be. But here's a positive angle. Yeah, Miami's a really good defensive team. Yeah, New York is a really good defensive team. But the main reason you struggled against Miami in that game, and past games, was every time they went zone. Not just last night, but the past couple of Miami games. Maxey had a 37-point triple-double. The second game, Joel Embiid was back from injury. And really, every time they switched from zone back to man is when Maxey started going crazy and flying past people to the rim. Then they would go back to the zone and slow him down. So really, you didn't struggle this season against Miami's defense overall. You struggled against the Miami zone. That's the Sixers' weakness right now. We did see Nick Nurse implement a clear strategy in the second half of a triangle offense to take advantage of wide open threes on the wings and the corners. That's how you break a 3-2 zone. Doc Rivers doesn't know that. Nick Nurse is the first coach that I've seen that actually made an adjustment against the zone and didn't just sit there and lose. So shout out to that. But you struggled against the Miami Heat zone defense. The Miami Heat run a zone defense about 15% of the time. The average NBA team runs a zone defense about 7% actually about 2 to 5% of the time. The next closest to the Miami Heat ran a zone defense about 7.9, almost 8% of the time. I could only find these numbers in an article, and they didn't list what that team was, what team that was that ran that 7.9% of the time. And I couldn't find how much the New York Knicks ran zone this season. But basically, it was an article from last year, and it was just showing that the Miami Heat run a zone basically 2 to 3 times more often than any other NBA team. So while the Knicks are a great defensive team also, you didn't struggle against Miami's defense overall. You struggled against the zone, and the New York Knicks, at least by the numbers, run the zone a lot less than the Miami Heat do. So there's that. I'm just saying that what last night looked like, you don't have to have as much worry as you have because no team runs a zone defense as often and as good as Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat. We'll have a lot more, videos, live streams upcoming before the Sixers versus Knicks game. Before the Sixers versus Knicks game 1, before the series that starts on Saturday. Good Lord, we only get 2 days off, and we're right back to pulling our hair out, watching playoff basketball. But I definitely expect the Sixers to look a lot more fluid and comfortable against the Knicks than they did against Miami, although both of these teams are very, very good defensively. I'll see you guys soon, man. Thanks for tuning rocking with me. I'm out.